Welcome back to our series of 200 ultra-hard PMP practice questions. I'm Andrew Ramdiel, and I'm the author of the world's best-selling PMP study guide, PMP Exam Prep Simplified, and the creator of the Udemy's best-selling course. With over 360,000 students combined, I've helped over 500,000 people pass their PMP exam. And with that, let's continue our series of 200 practice questions. And in this video, we're going to be doing questions 91 to 100, putting us right at that halfway point. By the way, if you're going to find value in this video, or at least I hope you do, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's get started. All right, question 91. In the midst of deploying a major IT infrastructure update, a project manager identifies a significant knowledge gap within the team. Primary amount recently onboarded staff. With the project's tight deadline and budget fully allocated, external training options are not feasible. What two actions should the project manager take next? Now, you notice this is a choose two. And I want to point out to you that on your exam, you're going to have these multi-choice questions where you have to select 2 or 3 of those choices. So keep that in mind. I think this is the first one I'm giving you in this series, but keep that in mind. You will see 4 or 5 of these types of questions on your full test. All right, so let's go through the choices here. Assess specific areas where the new staff members lack expertise. Consider reallocating critical tasks to more experienced team members until further notice. Propose a brief project pause to reallocate budget funds towards emergency training. Establish a mentorship pairing between the new staff and seasoned professionals for on-the-job training. Suggest that new staff independently seek out online resources to bridge their knowledge gaps at their own cost. Now, if you applied in the mindset, this question is not too difficult. Notice that you have this take next, right? So what are you going to be doing next? Well, the next thing you should really be doing is knowing, okay, in what specific areas are they lacking any kind of training? Like what specific areas are they lacking knowledge in? You shouldn't just go and start doing training until you understand that. So hopefully you guys got that. The next good answer here was let's put some kind of mentorship, and you got to initiate this. You have to be proactive. You should not tell the team that they should just go and figure it out themselves. That's what E does. That's why that's wrong. You shouldn't say, okay, you guys go and find your own thing, and especially at their own cost. On this exam, don't be negative. If a choice seems negative, it's probably not the right answer. Consider reallocating critical tasks. What you're doing here is you're overworking people. If you have a choice that seems like you're overworking people, probably not the right answer. Never pause your project. The only time you should ever shut a project down is if you're doing something that's against the law or unethical. For example, you're breaking some kind of regulations, then it's a good time to stop the project. Maybe there's a safety regulations that you're not meeting, then it's a good time to stop the project. But when it comes to things like this, you probably don't stop the project, making A and D the best answers. Question 92. While working on an innovative web platform, a project manager receives a request from a critical stakeholder for the inclusion of several unforeseen functionalities within the current agile development cycle. What should the project manager do? Advise the stakeholder to present their suggestion following the review of the present cycle. Recommend assessing the viability of these functionalities. Add the subsequent team planning meeting. Swiftly revise the project's development agenda to compress the requested functionalities. Have the product owner to engage with stakeholders concerning the incorporation of their request into the ongoing project. Now, I know I said these are going to be complex questions, but if you understand agile practices, it's rather easy. If you don't, this is a pretty complex question. So what happens when somebody requests some kind of function on an agile project? What do you do? Well, the best thing here you do is to have them meet with the product owner. Remember something, only the product owner can add functions to a project, not a project manager. You don't have that capability. That's the role of the product owner, not the team, the product owner. Never just say, advise the stakeholder to present to the next cycle. No, have them meet with the product owner. Look at this. Recommend assessing the viability function in the next team planning meeting. The team doesn't determine functionalities. The product owner does. You should not swiftly incorporate it. That is not your job. 93. As the deadline for a critical project approaches, the project manager notices a decrease in team enthusiasm, with several members consistently arriving late to the office. The project manager notices the team is not focused and dedicated. What should you do? Coordinate with human resources to discuss potential post-project opportunities for team members. Okay, maybe that'll motivate them. Conduct motivational workshop to re-energize the team and reinforce the importance of their contributions. All right, sounds good too. Initiate a peer recognition program to highlight individual contributions and foster team spirits. All right, that's good too. Enforce a strict attendance policy to curb latencies and improve discipline within the team. I'm going to eliminate this one right off the bat. The reason is because, again, on this, the mindset is going to tell us never be negative. If you're coming after someone and yelling at them and disciplining them and reporting them and firing them, it's never the answer. Unless the question says what not to do. Well, in this one here, what are we going to do? So we got 3 good answers. We could try to motivate him by discussing some kind of meeting with the PMO or the HR to make sure they have more opportunities afterwards. Maybe that motivate them. Maybe we should try motivating them, or a peer recognition. What did you guys get? Best answer here is what you should do as a project manager is you should be keeping your team motivated. Correct. You should keep your team motivated. Don't just tell the team. You see, what you're doing here in A is like you're giving away the motivation to the HR department. C, you're having them individually try to motivate each other by a peer recognition program. The best thing here you should do is try to do B first, I would do. See if this works. Meet with your team. Why are they feeling bad? What can I do? What's going on, guys? Remember, confront the problem is the key on this exam. All right, I know I said hard questions. This one is actually easy. During the development of a new healthcare system, the project manager requests that the product owner prioritize features that will significantly enhance patient data processing efficiently. What tool should a product owner use? Scope statement, sprint backlog, product backlog, WBS. Best answer here is the product backlog. The product backlog stores all of the features for an agile development project. How did I know that this was an agile project, even if it didn't say it? Notice it says the product owner. The WBS and the scope statements are used in traditional projects for a full project management plan. The sprint backlog contains things that will get done in the next sprint. It doesn't have all the features that's going to be on the agile project, and the product owner doesn't add to the sprint backlog. Only the team does. Now, on your exam, expect where you're going to get some similar questions like this, where a few of them are super easy. You read it, you just pass it right away. But then, of course, you're going to get hard questions like this one. During the final stages of a significant infrastructure project, it was discovered that comprehensive reports on critical structural assessments performed by a key engineer who has since departed the company were not documented or shared with the team. To mitigate such risk in the future, what should have been implemented by the project manager during the project lifecycle? All right, so now we're looking back. All right, and this question, I'm telling you guys, is not easy. Have the team initiate a cross-training program, enabling team members to understand and perform each other's roles during absence. Okay. Organize monthly knowledge exchange sessions where engineers could discuss challenges and solutions, ensuring collective awareness of project details. Okay. Engage external consultants to oversee all critical testing phases, ensuring an unbiased review on documentation of finding. All right. Establish an integrated project management information system to share information. This question is not easy. Most people, when I did this with my classes, got this one wrong. So let's see what you guys got. Now, this type of question, you have to think long-term. Like what long-term from the beginning, not something you could have fixed it. They're not asking you to fix the problem. They're saying what could you do now to prevent this in the future? All right. That's what they're trying to do. So the best answer here is going to be D. Correct. I'm not sure if you guys got that, but that's the answer. Here's why. There's a few of these we're going to eliminate right off the bat. First of all, let's get rid of B. Monthly knowledge sessions. A month may be too long. Try not to put a timeline on something. That means if somebody quit halfway through the month, all the knowledge between day 1 to day 15 is gone. What if they quit on day 29 and you do the knowledge sessions every 30 days? You kind of lost 29 days worth of knowledge. Not a good idea. We don't want to engage. You don't need to bring people in to start to put all kinds of additional pressure on the team or additional team members. Not a good idea. Let's get rid of those two choices. Now, I really liked it A and D. In A, you have team initiate a cross-training program. That way everybody seems to be doing everybody's work, enabling team members to understand and perform each other's role. But what if I know cross-training is good, but what if it's an engineering job? What if engineers need certain kind of licenses? There's a reason we put engineers in there. That may not work at all. But you know what's going to definitely work? D. If you have an information system that shares information, something that's done throughout the project, then this, if you notice, if you have a system that was consistently sharing information, this would have solved the problem of this guy leaving, and anybody can leave at any point because the information is all there, making D better than A. 96. As a project manager initiates a project with a fully remote team, ensuring effective communication becomes a challenge. What is the best approach for the project manager to maintain consistent information flow within the team? Suggest the creation of a monthly detailed project updates for comprehensive overview. All right. Establish structured online communication platform for frequent and organized team interactions. All right. Recommend open forum for team members to post daily updates. Okay. Organize bi-weekly email blasts to summarize project progress and incoming tasks. I like this question. This question has a very important lesson to learn. The best answer here is going to be B. Now, I want to point out something. When you get a vague question, you can't generally answer it with a very specific answer. For example, if I say, what's the best color shirt to wear? And your answer is you should wear blue. Well, that's my answer too. Let's all wear blue. I wear blue every day. But not everybody likes blue. The best color shirt to wear is whatever makes the stakeholder happy and successful. Notice, it's a vague question with a vague answer. Notice, this particular question is like, well, what can we do to ensure effective communication? Is it an email? Is it an open forum? Or is it some monthly detail reports? Notice how A, C, and D are very particular things. Versus B, it's, well, obviously they're online. Let's get some kind of platform for, we're not doing a monthly. We're not doing a daily. We're not doing a weekly. We're just saying frequent. This is more generic than the others. That's what we want. Remember, a generic question should get a pretty generic answer. You can't just give a specific question if you don't have all the details. This question doesn't give much detail. It's a very open-ended question. Should get an open-ended answer. Got it? Hopefully that makes sense. So this question, I don't think was difficult, but it taught a very important lesson that when you go through your exam, keep this thought in mind as you go through it. By the way, if you find this tip helpful and it's going to help you on your test, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. 97. As a complex project draws to a close, the project manager realizes that several risks initially assessed as low probability and impact evolved into significant issues, catching the project team off guard. All right, this is a common thing, by the way, in real life. What proactive step? Notice proactive should the project manager have taken? Implement a weekly risk review session with the project's core team to identify any changes in the risk landscape. All right. Institute a monthly risk tracking system to monitor the project risk status continuously. Okay. Mandate a zero policy of tolerance for all risks, ensuring every potential risk was addressed immediately upon identification. I don't know about that one. Zero tolerance. That might be tough. Undertaken continuous assessment and prioritization of risk throughout the project lifecycle. So we just did that question, generic type of question where you got this generic question and the best answer was the generic answer. What do you think this one is? Well, it's the same type of question I put here because if there's one thing we got to learn is in the course, I taught you guys, risk is something that's continuous. It's something you do all the time, not something you do some of the time. Risk, you consistently assess risk. Remember, risk changes 365, 24/7, 365. All right? Risk changes all the time. Every day there's a new risk. Every day certain risk changes. So you should be assessing risk on a continuous basis, not necessarily on a weekly or monthly basis. Maybe you should be doing it on an hourly basis. Maybe every minute you should be doing it. But we don't have a choice like that, or do we? Well, continuous assessment. This ensures that the project determines what's best for them. Every project may assess risk at different times. So we don't want to just go in there and choose something so specific. A zero policy probably will not be implemented. But when it comes to risk assessment, you should make sure that you consistently assess risks. Because when you start a project, a risk that seems it's not that important, or a risk that seems like it's not going to really impact you, can change over time. Let's keep that in mind. 98. In a project designated to deploy new technologies across several departments, a project manager notices a shift in stakeholder satisfaction levels. Despite the project adhering to its timeline and deliverables being met, feedback indicates a perception of diminishing returns in terms of value from the recent project increments. So this is a long question, as you can see. Notice they're pushing things out, they're on time, but the perception is, hey, not great. Stakeholders are just not seeing the value much anymore. What approach should the project manager take to address these concerns? Clarify to the stakeholders that the timeline and completed deliverables are the primary indicators of success, assuring them that the project is right on track. All right. Highlight to the stakeholders the inherent fluctuations in value perception due to the varying nature of resources and expected benefits at different project stages. All right. Communicate to stakeholders a common practice to tackle the most value adding elements first, result in a perceived decrease in value as the project progresses. Okay, that's actually true, by the way. In an agile project, as time moves on, you get less valuable things. Analyze the trend in value with the team to identify new underlying issues, devise strategies for consistent value, and transparently relay those plans to stakeholders. Good. What is the best answer here? So notice we want to address the concern. There are two good choices here, and that's going to be either C or D, making D the best answer. Now, why is it not A? Well, you meeting your timeline and you going to them is basically you're forcing it upon them. You're not really doing anything to address the concern. In A, you're basically saying, hey, we're on time and you should like that. That's us being on time. Meeting deliverables means you guys should be happy. B, let them know, okay, it's okay for you guys to be unhappy now. It's going to go up and down. Basically, you're not really addressing their concern. And so is C, actually. Because in C, you're basically telling them, well, in agile projects, the first thing you get first is going to be, and everything else is going to be bad after that. That's really, but you're not addressing the core concern. Maybe there's more to this. I'll tell you guys something on this test. Confront the problem, solve the problem. Never kick the can down the road. Never push away the problem, and never say it's not a problem. The question, it's telling you it's a problem. Come up with something to solve that problem. I know C is correct, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't identify what the underlying issue is. Notice that's what D is saying. See what's going on here and see if there is an underlying issue. 99. In the initial stages of launching a pioneering software tool aimed at small businesses, the project manager is focused on ensuring the project's quality resonates with its target audience. What approach should the project manager employ to assign the software tool embodies the highest quality standards? Engage a reputable software development firm to ensure the tool aligns with industry standards. Okay. Recruit a chief quality officer to oversee quality control throughout the development. Establish specific benchmarks, quality benchmarks for the software tool, and continuously seek ways to enhance them. All right. Instruct the lead developer to prioritize refining the software platform and user experience. Now, in this one here, the best answer is going to be C. There's a couple of things. So you're building a software that you want to have good quality. A couple of things. We don't know what A is about. Engage a reputable software firm. I'm not sure, not because a firm is reputable doesn't mean that it actually is going to produce quality software, right? Some big software firms produce pretty crappy software. Think of Microsoft. To ensure it aligns with industry standards, the best way to know industry standards is to do benchmarks. Benchmarking is a tool we use in Agile, it's a tool we use in traditional projects to understand what are industry standards and how to meet them. If you meet a benchmark, generally you're going to produce good quality products. You should not be hiring a quality officer. That is your job. The lead to prioritize, this is something that the product owner should do or something that more the project manager or the project sponsor is going to do. Last question, guys. Question 100. In the progression of an extensive software development project, a pivotal client proposes the introduction of a new cloud-based technology mid-project, significantly deviating from the initial technology stack outline. The suggestion aligns with the client's ongoing digital transformation efforts. What should the project manager do next? Analyze the proposed change for strategic alignment and potential impact on business outcome. Okay. Notify the projects that did about the client shift towards digital transformation. All right. Implement the change to the timeline and budget, integrating new technology. Okay. Evaluate the team's current capabilities against the demand introduced by the new technology. The best thing here you're going to do, if a stakeholder comes to you with a change, any kind of change on this project. Now, we're not saying that this is some kind of agile project here, so we're not sure if it is. But if they come to you with some kind of a change, the best thing you can do is to assess that change. Just don't go and implement the change. Don't go to the steering committee if you don't understand the changes. And that brought the two good answer. Either it was A or D. If you got one of those two, don't feel bad if you got D. But you know what? Here's why you should have gone with A. Before you assess the team capabilities against the change, see if the change really is. The stakeholder comes and says, hey, notice the suggestion aligns with their digital. Well, does it? Maybe you want to do that assessment first, see how it's going to affect the project, see how it's going to affect the outcome of the project. And if you feel, you know what, maybe this is good, maybe there's a line, then maybe you do D. So let's do A, then we do D, making A the best answer. And that brings me to the end of this set, guys. We are now halfway through our 200 question practice. If you found value in this video, guys, give the video a like. If you're looking for a PMP course, check the links below. I have an amazing PMP course. It has, I think, 360,000 plus enrollment by now. Some crazy number. My book on Amazon is the #1 best-selling PMP study guide, and it comes with the course, also a 35-hour course that folks are using to ace their exam. And if you want more questions like this, and you don't want to wait till next week and the following week and the following week to see these questions, check the link below for the TIA exam simulator, where we have, I think it's like close to 800, 700, or 900 questions like this. 400 of them has video explanations and questions just like this. So check out the TIA exam simulator, so question like this, so you can ace your exam. And with that in mind, guys, I'll see you in the next video.